welcome to Quarantini Time, the show where I get to chat with friends and family while enjoying delicious beverages together. My guest tonight pretty much raised my kid from when she was a year and a half to about 2.5. Saw my kid a lot more than I ever did, and man, taught her so much. I call her Betsy. You can call her Betsy Hot Lava Sava Java. Please welcome Betsy Sava. Hey Betsy, welcome to Quarantini Time.
Hey, thank you for inviting me.
Cheers, friend. What are we drinking tonight?
I'm having a gin and tonic prepared by my wonderful father. What are you drinking?
I am not having a gin and tonic because that tastes like Christmas trees to me, and I don't like to chew on needle trees. I'm having my good old dirty martini. So we've known each other for a couple of years now, but the whole reason we met is you were my daughter's teacher when she was about a year and a half to 2.5. And she adored your classroom. But that is how we got to know each other. How can you be around small children like that all day and not go insane?
You know, I never said I wasn't insane. I kept at manageable levels. You were so tired by the end of the day, you couldn't think about how strange every event that had occurred to you over the last 9 hours had been. And you just kind of reset, and the next day forgot that someone had stuck their toe in your mouth or sneezed in your eye.
I mean, you're in a room full of 1.5 to 2.5-year-olds. You had 10 or 12 of them in there. You end up going home with the most ridiculous stains on your clothes that you don't know what they are, and you are an angel, I will say that. And it takes a very special person to do what you and all the teachers there do.
I was definitely blessed to have my team. I think without having Katie and the other co-teachers that came in and out of our classroom, there would have been no Cowboy Bunnies. We were insane together, and often Snapchat, what do you think the stain is?
Well, so after Remy's year in Cowboy Bunnies, you decided to take off for grad school and went all the way to Barcelona. I actually haven't really been able to talk to you much since you got back about that. How was Barcelona?
That's such a wild question. Barcelona was nothing like home, but it also felt really familiar. People are really kind and friendly. I was lucky to take classes in English, so the only times I was having any language barrier troubles were the rest of my life, Luckily, I speak a little bit of Spanish, enough. I'm reading the Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban in Spanish right now, and that's where I'm at. I could talk to 8-year-olds really well. Adults, not so much, and especially if they're little Catalan grandmas. But I had so many roommates and we moved halfway through the year. They had so many protests that I missed 25 days of school.
What is the can't miss thing in Barcelona that you experienced while you were over there?
Okay, so the Dimoni festivals on June 23rd, that was the most amazing thing. And the La Mercè, those two festivals, one in June, one in September. It's amazing. They have fireworks, they have parties, they have parades, they have people going up and down the streets. There's extra millions of people because there's already 2 million people in that city that are registered and probably another 500,000 that aren't registered. And then in the summer is 2 to 3 million tourists. So it's insane.
So what are those festivals?
The summer one is something to do about scaring off the devil with fire because they shake fireworks around their heads against people who are dressed like demons. And La Mercè, I don't know what that one is either. Honestly, the explanation of what's going on isn't as important, at least to the tourist or to the non-native, as the just wide range of events that are trying to tell the stories. At La Mercè, they have parades of giant-headed people, of various saints, important political people, important past figures. They're 12 feet tall.
I'm a big foodie. I love food. What was your favorite food over there?
It's a basic food, but in English, that would be an omelet sandwich. So their tortillas in Spain are a large flat omelets, and they cover them in a fried tomato paste with olive oil, garlic salt, and salt. And you spread it on the bread, and then fold an omelet inside, put a tiny bit of cheese, and put it into a French baguette. It's perfect to take to the beach. Just wrap it up and go with you, or when you're running late to school.
That sounds amazing. Have you made that since you've been home?
No. You see, because the tortilla de patata, they have chunks of fried potato. And so you take a potato, chop it really fine, deep fry it, pat off the extra oil, mix it in with like 6 or 8 scrambled eggs, and then fry it into a deep pan and let it rise. You add a little bit of like baking powder or baking soda, whichever makes it rise the most. Bake it, and then you flip it and slide it back into the pan, all without trying to break it. So it's like a cake. And the ones they put in the sandwiches are really thin, but the ones that you have for like an appetizer or breakfast or an afternoon snack are like this thick.
So during this stay-at-home quarantine, you are in fact working from home, correct?
Yes, I am. And at first it was even busier than when I was in the office. And well, we work on like a proposal cycle, which I'm sure you're very used to. And we're in the middle of a bunch of proposals that haven't been canceled yet.
I should say, and if people haven't picked up on it yet, you are no longer a preschool teacher. You have grown up and gone on and become an adult. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a weird change to not wear leggings every day.
So, in the times that you're staying at home and not working, have you found any superpowers that you didn't know you had?
I can definitely keep my dogs from barking at strangers when we're outside just by picking them up. Apparently, they lose their ability to bark when they're in midair. So that's a superpower, I think.
Have you done anything new that you haven't done before?
I made a quilt for Crow for his birthday. It's super rad. I'll send you a picture because I'm extremely proud of myself because I followed directions and measured things. Took me about 3 weeks.
That's impressive. Making a quilt is I just dug an old sewing machine out of the basement and I have no idea what I'm looking at, so that's my next task.
The joy of sewing is an immense one. It's so fun. 95% of sewing is just fixing your fucking sewing machine. And I'm sorry if we're not allowed to curse on this, but that's the bane of my existence is constantly fixing things that are going wrong.
Hey, nothing's off limits on this show. It's Quarantini Time.
Quarantines.
Well, do you have any idea in the world who James Lipton is?
No. I would maybe think he's somehow related to the massive Lipton family empire.
As in the soups and the teas?
Yeah.
Oh, I will have to look that up. Did you watch Arrested Development ever?
Yes, quite a bit.
He was the warden on Arrested Development.
Okay, yes.
James Lipton was famously known for this questionnaire. He created this questionnaire of 10 questions. I have taken most of his questions. I've dropped a couple of them. And I've added some COVID-19 questions. And I've been asking every person this questionnaire at the end of every interview. So you will be the 10th person to answer this set of questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, question number 1. What is your favorite word?
Panqueques.
Not even kidding you, in the episode with Rebecca Vega, that is her second favorite word.
Okay, see? Connections across the world.
That is amazing because you don't even know Rebecca Vega, but yet panqueques is a great word.
It just feels nice to say.
Well, what is your least favorite word?
Okay, it's actually 2 words, but Arnold Palmer? I can't. It's really tough.
It's a good thing you don't like iced tea and lemonade then.
I love it though. It's one of my favorite drinks.
Who would you most like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with? Fiction, nonfiction, dead, alive?
I'm pretty pleased with who I'm quarantined with as of now. But if I had to change it, I couldn't keep the same individuals. I'd probably go with Raja the cat from Aladdin.
Nice. The tiger?
Yeah, I could then be also Tiger King during COVID-19 without encouraging animal cruelty.
I have not watched Tiger King yet, but I keep seeing everything associated with it. And so that answer is priceless. Thank you. Who would you least like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
It hasn't occurred to me to think about these things. Can we circle back to it? I'm just going to let it ruminate in the back of my head.
Sure. Well, this next one should be an easy one for you. What is your favorite curse word?
God damn it.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound when you're like squirming around in your sheets and it's just like the calming noise.
What sound or noise do you hate?
I really, really hate the squeaky chalkboard sounds.
It makes my skin crawl just thinking about it. If you could only have one type of food during a stay-at-home quarantine, what would it be?
At first I said mandarin oranges, but then I ate so many I gave myself 2 canker sores in my mouth. So I'm going to have to revise that answer with I don't know. The thing is, everything I want to eat in vast quantities, like sauerkraut and pickles and mandarin oranges, have really injured me. Like I've open sores in my mouth from eating too many tangy foods. So probably bread. I've learned my lesson. I can't go outside the box.
Well, what profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
I today, in the midst of Googling a series of firms in New Jersey, discovered this firm called Geese Chasers that have highly trained border collies that go around and round up Canadian geese. I want to do that when I grow up.
You want to be a border collie, or you want to help the border collies chase the geese?
I would love the first choice, but I'll accept the second because I think the human to border collie transformation has yet to be completed. But when that day comes, I will slay chasing geese.
What profession other than yours would you not like to do?
I would really have a hard time being the person who designs websites for people who like not not a certified website designer, but someone in a business that has no idea how to make a website that's told you got to make the website. Because part of what I do, a vast majority of what I've been doing lately is just Googling firms and figuring out what they do and who owns them. And there's so many websites that are just so bizarre and so uninformative.
So we're going to circle back before the last question. Who would you least like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
Home alone with my dog, Ralphie. I've been thinking about this because he's old and has a really hard time lately, and he cries if he can't see my mother. And he barks if he can't see anybody. And he chases you around the house and barks and cries at you because he's blind and deaf, so he can't hear you either. So he spends most of his time just walking very closely to my mother at her heels. And when I'm home alone with him, all he does is stand at me and bark until I go lay in my mother's bed. And I can't do that. So
That's heartbreaking.
but he's a very physically healthy dog. He just is confused at all times.
All right, last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
The best compliment in the Sava family is "you don't suck," because that's a very general, broad category. Like in every way I can imagine, you don't suck. And I think that would be really high praise.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Quarantini Time. I have definitely enjoyed our time together and catching up. Cheers to you, Betsy.
Cheers to you.